Talk a little bit about kind of the leading up to the game. I mean, everyone saw you at the game and
Sure.
reffing the game, but talk about those 2 weeks before the prep and then just getting focused and getting ready for that.
We really prepare for every game like it's a big game. Every Sunday, and any given Sunday in the NFL, it's a Super Bowl. And we've approached it that way every Sunday with Sean Hockley's crew. And so I watched the Super Bowl from last year, I watched the divisional game from this year. I actually had this game week 12 in Tampa Bay, so I was familiar with both of the teams. And it is literally, I'm calling my mentors that have been to the Super Bowl and have worked the Super Bowl, what to expect.
You know, in the game, any difference? I mean, is there any difference? Or like you said, it's just the same as it was
No.
for any other game?
It's a football field, 100 yards with 2 end zones and 22 players.
Do you kind of feel the impact of being the first female ref, or is it like the game where, it's just what you do?
It is just what I do. I am just an official out there. But I do understand the impact of what this means to a lot of people. It impacted me, well, maybe I realized it my second year in the NFL when a coach came up to me, a legendary coach, and he said, "Sarah, I just want to say thank you for what you're doing for my daughters and for all the women and girls around the world." And he said, "Because of you, I've been coaching for 20 years, but my girls think they know more about football now because of you than me." And when he said that, it just made me take a step back that girls are watching.
And has your daughter said anything to you about this?
Yeah.
And what is she kind of saying?
Just how proud she is of me. I got a note from her on Super Bowl Sunday. Taylor had hidden away some things for me, and she told me where to find them in my suitcase, and one was from my daughter, and it made me tear up.
I guess for some refs, they would say this is the pinnacle of reffing. Is there more you kind of want to accomplish? Is there something specific that, you kind of want to now do?
I want the longevity in the NFL, not just the Super Bowl. I don't want to be a one and done with the Super Bowl. I want to rank number one at my position every year. That's what I strive to do. And so I don't know how long I'll officiate in the NFL. I mean, the guys are out there, they're in their 60s, but I just don't know what it'll look like for a 60-year-old woman to be running around on a football field. I'm not saying, I hope I could. But I don't know. I mean, my kids will get older, and at one point I am gonna wanna enjoy just being home and not having to do this with you. No, I'm kidding. But just, yeah, I don't know. I just want the longevity. And of course, I would love to have another Super Bowl because that means I'm doing my best out there on that field.
And then what was the moment that you kind of like realized, wow, this is like the Super Bowl, I know that the fans aren't there this year,
Right.
like it might have been in past years when that ball gets kicked off and you hear the roar and it's like, oh, we're in this.
Yeah.
What was kind of that moment for you in this game?
Walking through the tunnel, pre-game, going out there when no one's out there really, and just taking it all in, looking up and seeing the big Super Bowl 55 out there. It's the initials of Louis Vuitton. I said, that's as close as I'm gonna get to a Louis Vuitton. But then walking through the tunnel to go and kick it off and knowing my kids are there, yeah, surreal.
The nerves, I mean, the players are nervous. I gotta assume the refs are too.
Do you think they are?
I gotta think so.
I really don't think that. I think they're anxious to get it kicked off, but they're pros and they're the best at what they do. And I consider myself a pro, and I wasn't nervous or anxious at all. The NFL does it right. Experience is irreplaceable, so you're not eligible for a Super Bowl until you've worked at least 5 years in the NFL. So having that experience and have worked all this season, and this is my 6th season, I was ready, and we had an elite crew.
Okay, so how many text messages, Facebook messages, emails did you receive after this game?
I had 120 text messages in the fourth quarter, after the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then I answered all of those on the bus ride back to the hotel, and then of course they kept coming in. But the day that I got the call and they announced it, my phone rang about 10 o'clock, a little after 10 a.m. that morning. And I put my phone down, I think at 1 a.m. And I went, my phone stopped dinging. I guess people are finally asleep. But it's been crazy. But I am here to tell you, it's a blessing. God has given me a talent to go out there and do this with the guys, and one day there will be another female and another, but I don't take it lightly. It's something that I absolutely love to do.
All right, so what's the most memorable? I mean, that's kind of my final question here. What was the most memorable part? Is it seeing your family after the game? Is it something that happened in the game, pre-game, or which part of the experience?
The most memorable was when I walked that field and they were walking in the stadium, and I mean, it was perfect timing, right? And I whistle. I can whistle with my fingers, and my kids and every kid in this neighborhood knows if there's a whistle, Bailey, it's time to go home. And when my boys, it was the same thing. So when I saw him walking, I whistled, and Bailey said, I just knew that could not be my mom. And I turned around, and you're pointing to us, and I blew him kisses, and then I was like, it's go time.